Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, this is me Jyoti Ketan and you're watching me on Arcandy. In this channel we discuss about different topics. So today's topic is all about the Indus Valley civilization. So without further delay, let's get started with today's video.
History. The Indus Valley civilization is named after the Indus River system, in whose alluvial plains the early site of the civilization were identified and excavated. The Indus Saraswati civilization or the Sindhu Saraswati civilization, or sometimes also known as Harappan civilization. The Indus Valley civilization was a Bronze Age civilization in the northwestern regions of South Asia, lasting from 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE, and in its mature form from 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. Together with the ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, it was one of the three early civilizations of the Near East and South Asia, and of the three were most widespread, its site spanning an area stretching from northeast Afghanistan through much of Pakistan and into western and northwestern India. It flourished in the basins of the Indus River, which flows through the length of Pakistan and along a system of perennial, mostly monsoon-fed rivers that once coursed in the vicinity of the seasonal Ghaggar-Hakra River in the northwest India and eastern Pakistan. The civilization sites were noted for their urban planning, big brick houses, elaborate drainage system, water supply system, cluster of large non-residential building, and new techniques in handicraft. Religion. The Indus Valley religion is polytheistic and is made of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. There are many seals to support the evidence of Indus Valley gods. Some seals show animals which resemble the two gods, Shiva and Rudra. Other seals depict a tree which the Indus Valley believed to be the tree of life. The Indus people worshipped a father god who may have been the forefather of race. Figurians found lead the scholars to believe that the Indus people worshipped a mother goddess symbolizing fertility. Swastikas are a scared symbol for good luck. The Indus Valley people practiced a form of yoga and meditation. The Indus Valley people built bath houses and practiced ritual bathing. Building materials. The main material used were sun-dried and burned bricks, which were made in molds of 1:2:4 ratios. Easy availability of wood for burning meant baked bricks were used in abundance in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Mud mortar and gypsum cement are also in evidence, and mud plaster and gypsum plaster are also found to have been used. Mud mortar is most evident at Harappa. Wooden frames were probably used for the doors and windows, which have since rotted away. Architecture. Town planning. Mohenjo-daro has a plan layout with rectilinear buildings arranged on a grade plan. Most of were built of fired and mortared brick. Some incorporated sun-dried mud brick and wooden superstructures. Another aspect of the architecture is they often build walls around their entire cities. This could have served several different needs. Many believe that the walls were believed as defensive structures, or it is thought that the wall also served as a protection from flood. The city could be split into two different sections, an upper acropolis and a lower town. The lower town consisted of lower valued residential building located on the eastern side of the city, while the upper acropolis would be on the western side of the city, which contained of higher value buildings and public buildings. It was also thought that the acropolis area would be built on the highest part of the mound in the city, showing the importance and status of the area was much higher than the rest of the area. Another feature which suggests the acropolis is of higher importance is that the fortifications around the area were bigger and stronger than those around the rest of the city. Houses. Varying types of houses and buildings are found in both large and small settlements. Rural areas tend to have exclusively mud brick buildings, whereas urban areas have buildings partially or wholly made of baked bricks. Small and large houses and public buildings are the main categories. Houses range from 1 to 2 stories in height, with a central courtyard around which the rooms were arranged. The interior is not visible from the street, sort of using corridors or walls in the inside. Openings are also restricted to side street to maintain privacy on the inside of the houses. Stairs lead to the upper stories through a side room or the courtyard, and the size of the foundation has shown that the third floor might also have existed at one point. The average thickness of walls was was 70 centimeter and the average ceiling height about 3 meters. Large public buildings are the third major category and include both public spaces such as markets, squares and courtyards, and administrative buildings including granaries. The Great Hall or Great Bath structures are also part of this, serving possibly a religious as well as social function. Groups or clusters of houses are also in evidence, which probably housed several families together and had their own facilities such as latrines and bathing areas as opposed to using the communal facilities. Streets and external drainage. The most prominent feature of the Harappan architecture is the drainage system. It shows how important cleanliness was for them, and it was achieved through having a series of drains running along the street that connected to a large sewers in the main street. Smaller drains from household latrines and bathing areas connected to these larger drains, which had cobble roofs so they could be buried underneath the main street when required without caving in. Some sections had removable brick paving or dressed stones on top to allow cleaning when required. Drainings exiting the city even had wooden doors that were probably closed at night to prevent negative elements from entering the city through that access. Some pits were found at intervals along the drains, which allowed heavier solid waste to collect at the bottom. These were regularly cleaned to avoid blockages. Wells and sanitation. Drinking water or water in general was made available in abundance to the people of Harappa to that very close proximity of the city to the pre-Indus Ghagar Hakra river, which allowed fewer water wells to serve the people, as the majority could attain their water from the river itself. There is also found in Harappa a central depression that might have been a public pool for drinking and washing, which allowed wider access to the resource. As a result, there are few wells at Harappa, totaling perhaps total of only 30 wells as compared to 700 or more at Mohenjo-daro. There are more private than public wells, which points to the fact that public wells probably got polluted or run out due to heavy use and affluent citizens then dug their one. Bathing rooms in these houses were situated next to the well, which itself was raised above ground level. Bathing rooms had tightly fitted brick floors, which made them more or less waterproof. Drains from these rooms lead separately to the main drains on the outside from the latrine drains, and care was taken to separate the water and sewage drains. The drains were tapered out into the street. Also, every house in Harappa has been found to contain a latrine, which was a large terracotta jar sunk into the ground and sometimes connected to the external drains. Granary. It was thought to have been used as a place for farmers to store their crops, carts to load and unload, or even possibly as a temple. This massive building is made of wood on brick foundations and is over 60 meters long, with 6 large halls and arching doorways. The Great Granary is one of the significant buildings of the civilization found in Mohenjo-daro, along with the Great Bath. Great Bath. The Great Bath is found in the middle of Mohenjo-daro. It is believed to have been used as a part of a religious bathing ritual for the people to gather together and was very important to daily life. It had good drainage system and was built with the bricks that were held by tar and gypsum mortar, so no water leaked. As can be seen, Mohenjo-daro was the biggest and wealthiest city in the Indus Valley, with the most significant architectural constructions and the better sewage system. Citadel. Citadel represented a centralized authority. Citadels in Indus Valley were almost 12 meters tall. The purpose of these structures, however, remains debated. Though the structures found in the ruins of Mohenjo-daro were walled, it is far from that clear that these structures were defensive against enemy attacks. Rather, they may have been built to divert flood waters.
This much for today's video. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, stay tuned to my channel and don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.